this is Christy from birdmentor.com, where I teach advanced skills to beginning birders, and thanks for joining me today. Did you know that birds will tell you how they're feeling? Not exactly like, hey Christy, I'm feeling kind of sad today, but more in their own lovely, subtle kind of way. So let's look at it this way. Imagine that you're sitting on your front porch one morning, drinking your cup of tea or coffee, and you're really just enjoying being alone. But then one of your friends decides to come up unexpectedly. Wouldn't it just be nice if you could just maybe make a couple subtle gestures or movements and your friend would know that now's not the right time? This is what the birds do, and if we take the time to observe what they're communicating to us before we proceed with our own agenda, we'll not only get the chance to see more birds in their natural state for longer periods of time, we'll also begin to learn how to respect what they're asking of us. So you can understand what I'm talking about, I'm going to share a little story of something that happened to me just a couple weeks ago with a hawk. So I was walking down a really beautiful dirt road, and it was lined with tall trees, and there were farmhouses all along the road. And then all of a sudden, kind of off in the distance, I saw this hawk fly across the road and land on a telephone pole. And so I was super curious about what kind of hawk it was, and so I started really looking at its features as I got closer to the bird. And so I walked a few more paces, and all of a sudden the hawk kind of like looked over at me. And then I walked a little bit closer, and then it sort of like lifted its body a little bit, and then it turned toward me. And so I kept walking and looking at the bird, and finally, as I got like, I don't know, gosh, it was maybe like 100 yards or so away from the hawk, maybe a little bit further than that actually, maybe like 150 yards, the hawk then started to like move its head in this funny kind of way. And it was at that point that I knew I had probably gotten too close and then it was gonna fly. And so what it was communicating to me in that moment was, one, that it was feeling threatened because by me looking right at it in this direction, it's a predatory kind of, and staring at a bird or any animal for that matter, it's a predatory behavior. And it was also trying to size me up. That's something that they do with when they move their heads like that, they're trying to size you up. I knew that if I kept going, I'd force the hawk off of its chosen perch, and I didn't want to do that. So I had other places I could go, so I just turned myself around and I walked the other direction. Okay, so there are a few points I want you to remember. The first one is that each bird has its own comfort zone for modern humans. Now, if you think about like woodpeckers or chickadees, for instance, they let you get pretty darn close to them. Like if there was a woodpecker or a chickadee right in this tree right here, we could be standing here and it would be most likely comfortable with us. Now, on the other hand, if we were to see a great blue heron over in the river and we just even thought about looking at it, most likely it would fly. The second point is that birds have a variety of gestures, like scraping their bill against a branch or bobbing their head, and some even get kind of vocal, and those let you know how comfortable or threatened the bird is feeling around you. Get to know those, and you'll soon find that you'll get to observe the birds for longer periods of time. The final point is that sometimes all you have to do is just a simple repositioning of your body. So instead of looking straight on at a bird, all you have to do is simply turn sideways and then turn your gaze away from that bird for just a little while, and that might be all it takes. Just let it get comfortable with you again. This is such a beautiful practice because it helps us become aware of the needs of those that we love. And just like if a friend or lover were to ask us for a little space, we'd respect that request. It might not always be what we want, but we do it because we love them, right? So I'd love to hear from you and let me know what other behaviors you've observed in birds that might let you know that they're a little bit uncomfortable with your presence. You can go ahead and share that in the comment section below. And until next time, please get out there and help spread some bird love in the world. Thanks for joining me.